Robert kids. I'm so excited that you're joining us for our first week of hanging with Pastor Cooper. We're gonna have so much fun. What this episode is about, what we're gonna be doing on Fridays at 10 a.m. every single week is we're gonna be interviewing people. And we're gonna be playing outrageous games. What that means is I'm gonna be interviewing missionaries, I'm gonna be interviewing our kids leaders, and I'm gonna be interviewing you guys. Because I wanna know more about you and I wanna have some fun with you guys. All right, and so we're gonna have a lot of fun. And so we're gonna start this week off with Miss Miranda.
Hi, everyone.
Right, you guys know a lot about me, but you don't know a lot about Miss Miranda, right? You know my favorite socks, you know my candy, my favorite food. You know a lot of stuff about me, but you don't know a lot about her. So we're gonna interview Miss Miranda today. And it's gonna be fun. All right, my first question for you, because I don't know the answer to this, is where do you live?
I live in Mahomet with Pastor Cooper and Lewis.
And it's really boring and we don't do anything and it's not crazy at all.
Right, because Pastor Cooper is not crazy at all.
Hey there. Okay, well let's go on to our next question. Right, what is your favorite hobby?
Well, I don't get to do a lot other than chase Lewis around because he's walking now and he's getting into everything. But I do like to be outside, to go hiking and kayaking and just exploring new places.
All right, you mentioned kayaking. Now, I've heard you kayak with some pretty dangerous animals.
I did kayak with some crocodiles when I lived in Houston.
With crocodiles? Did they like bite your boat or your kayak?
No, I tried to stay far away from them.
Smart girl, smart girl. If you ever kayak with crocodiles, stay away from them, got it?
Yep.
All right, well my next question for you is how old are you?
I am 3 months younger than Pastor Cooper.
Really? That's how you're gonna answer that question?
It is the truth.
You're not wrong. That's kind of mean. Calling me old. All right. Well, let's get into a more serious question here.
Okay.
All right. Here's a serious one. What is your favorite Bible story?
One of my favorites, it's hard to pick. It's about a woman named Deborah and a woman named Jael. So Deborah was the judge over Israel at one point, and God told her to have the Israelites attack the Canaanites, who were not being very nice to them. And so Deborah went and told the leader of the army of Israel that they could go and attack the Canaanites and they would win. But the leader of the Israelite army said, "I'll do it, but you have to come with me." So since he was kind of scared and didn't just listen and didn't trust that God was going to give him the victory, Deborah said, "Okay, that's fine, I'll come with you, but the battle victory is going to go to a woman." So what happened was they were doing really well in the battle, and so the leader of the Canaanite army fled, and he went to a house where he thought he would be safe.
Okay.
He went in and he asked for a cold drink of water because he had been fighting and he was tired. And Jael, the woman of the house, gave him a warm cup of milk. And then he fell asleep and she killed him in his sleep and the Israelites won.
Okay. So the point of the story is do not drink warm milk.
Not if you asked for cold water.
Well, that's true. He did not ask for milk, did he? All right, I think maybe the real point of the story is that we need to listen to what God says the first time.
I think that's a good one.
That might be a better point than don't drink warm milk. All right, well, we did just talk about warm milk, and so that made me think about food. And so I want to ask you, what is your favorite food?
I love all food, and I like to try all different kinds of food. But what we like to eat a lot of times when I don't want to cook is Chinese.
Yes, I like Chinese. I get stir fry every time. Oh, wait, no.
Every time. Chicken fried rice.
Chicken fried rice. I don't get stir fry. I get chicken fried rice. All right, well, I remember you always telling me about this amazing soup that you had when you were in Thailand.
Yes, it was really good, and it was a really special soup. It was my last night there, so they wanted to say goodbye to me in one of the best ways they knew possible, by making really good food. And so what they did was they bought a pig head from the market a few days before, and they boiled it in a big pot of water for a couple days, and then put a bunch of other stuff in there, and that's what we had for dinner. So I asked them, "What's in this soup? It's really good." And they said, "Oh, lots of things." And I stopped asking questions.
So were the eyeballs and the brains still in the pig head?
Maybe.
What about the bacon? Was the bacon still in there? That's the real important question.
I mean, it's pig meat.
I'm just going to imagine it's all bacon in there.
That's probably a good idea.
All right. Well, my next question for you is, how old were you when you became a Christian?
Well, the first time I prayed and asked Jesus into my heart, I was 3 years old. We were raised to know Jesus in our house, and so my older sister, who's almost 3 years older than me, she was worried and wanted to make sure I would come to heaven with her, and so she told me I needed to pray this prayer. So I prayed with her when I was 3 years old because she was concerned for my soul.
That's a really nice sister.
She is a good sister.
Yeah.
So I prayed when I was 3, but then when I was 12 years old, I started to have really, really bad dreams, and I was having a really hard time going to sleep. I didn't like when we had to turn the lights off and go to bed. And so one night I decided to go downstairs and talk to my mom, and I decided to rededicate my life to Christ. And after I did that, God took away all those bad dreams and all that fear of the dark, and I slept a lot better.
That's awesome. So God did some really cool things when you were 12. You saw God answer prayer.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to talk, Lewis? All right. I don't know if you guys heard that, but God really does answer your prayers.
He does.
He answered Miss Miranda's prayer. And so that leads us to our last question I want to ask you. My last question I want to ask you is, how has Jesus impacted your life?
He has done so many things in my life, but the main thing he's done is he's given me purpose through living for him. Being involved in church and growing up in church. After I got the opportunity to go on a mission trip to Nicaragua when I was 12 years old, and after that, God spoke to me and told me he wanted me to be a missionary in the future. And so ever since I was 12 years old, I've known I wanted to do kids ministry, and I've known that I wanted to be a missionary in the future. So I've been really focused on that, about learning about missions and going on trips when I can. And that's just given my life a lot of purpose and meaning and focus on God.
Wow, that's really cool. You guys hear that? When she was 12, God told her she was going to be a missionary. So you know what that means? That means you guys aren't too young to know what God wants to do with your life. God can show you right now what he wants to do in your life, just like he showed Miss Miranda.
Yes, he can.
And a really cool thing is that Miss Miranda was called to missions at 12, and then I met Miss Miranda when I was in high school, and she taught me about missions and made me want to be a missionary. And so just because Miss Miranda listened to God's call on her life, I was impacted in a positive way towards missions as well. So it's not just you making a decision. You can affect other people's lives when you listen to what God tells you to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here with us today and letting us get to interview you a little bit.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Well, before we sign off, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but we are having another baby here soon. All right? And so what that means is that Lewis is going to be a big brother.
Yay!
We want to play a game to tell you guys what gender our baby is. We're going to have a gender reveal party right here. What we're going to do is we're going to have 12 of these buddy buckets, right? 12 of these. And we're going to fill them all with water. And then one of the buckets is going to have some Kool-Aid in it. All right? It's going to have pink Kool-Aid or blue Kool-Aid. So what's going to happen is we're going to dump the water. We're going to take turns dumping water on each other's head. So I'm going to dump a bucket on Miss Miranda's head, and then she's going to dump a bucket on my head. And then whenever we dump one, it might have pink, it might have blue. We don't know.
Or it might just be water.
It might just be water. But once you see whether it's pink or blue, you'll know whether we're having a boy or a girl. All right, so we're going to go and do that now. Hey everybody, we are doing our gender reveal here. We're going to be dumping buckets of water on each other's heads. And whatever color comes out is whether we're going to have a boy or a girl. So stay tuned for this. Here we go. You want to go first? You want to rock, paper, scissors?
First.
I'm first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah!
Yeah. Lewis says this one.
Lewis says that one? Okay. Is it what it? No color. No color. Okay. That was warm.
Yeah, lucky you.
This one looks cold. And it feels cold.
Oh, that's cold. Oh no.
Oh baby, you're okay. All right, honey, pick another one.
I'm not gonna dump it on him.
I know, I'll put him down.
Oh, dang it.
Ooh, no color and warm. Woo!
Here, baby.
I'm gonna go with this Winnie. And it feels warm.
What, buddy? He's
You're
scared.
okay. You're okay. All right, Mommy, pick another one. Blue or pink one?
Okay, put the baby down.
Is it warm? Oh, it's not! You're okay, buddy.
I think someone needs to hold him, but you need to get the rest of the bucket.
Oh, baby.
Double bucket on Daddy.
What? No, that's not how this works. Don't look at it, just pick it up. Better be warm. Oh, thank you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Trade ya.
Dump it on my foot.
Something's on this side.
Oh, there's more. Still just water.
Still just water. Well, you wanna go for mini?
You can get that down.
Alright, last 20.
No, not
He does not like the bucket being
You
dripped.
don't like that. It's
All
okay.
right. Here we go. This one's warm. And it is the color. Nothing.
Water. Woo. That was it.
Alright. You got a few more to pick from, honey. Oh, that one's cold.
And it's blue! Yay!
Yay!
You're gonna have a little brother!
We're having a little baby boy! Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Let's get one more for Mommy.
Is it warm?
No, it's cold.
It's cold. Oh, it's okay.
All
It's
right.
okay.
Let's say bye.
Say bye-bye.
Yay, boy. All right. Thanks for tuning in for this week's Hanging with Pastor Cooper. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys here at church soon. Bye.